Hey, Steve, thanks for recapping the project with me today. And I promised to send over a quick little video. So, Mercury Plastics has done 5 different projects with us. And each time he needed a new roof and didn't really want to write a check and wanted to cash in on the incentives that are available. So, he did the project because for financial reasons. The roof was 879,000. So, if he did that roof on its own, there'd never be a return on it. The solar is a little expensive because we have to use prevailing wage, and we use tier one equipment, but that's why they have the incentives. So total project cost 1.9, incentives almost 1.8. So that roof solar project, his net cost 119,000, saving $73,000 annually. That's why he did it. So in Illinois, we have solar renewable energy credits. So that's one of the incentives that you get. They charge you on your power bill whether you do a project or not, and it's the people's money, and this is how they give it back. If you do a project, you get some of it back, and then power company, same thing. They have an inverter rebate, but they charge efficiency fees on the bill, and until you get a project in mind, you don't really capture any of that. So the big tax credit is the biggest part of it. Most of the country's 30% tax credit on roof solar, switchgear, EV chargers. But Illinois is an energy community, which has to do with employment in the energy sector. So lucky us, we get an extra 10%. So, but Trump's bill is cutting this. So we have to have the project started before July 4th of next year, the 1 year anniversary of him signing that bill. So there's a safe harbor program. It's not a problem, but we do have to get the ball rolling fairly quickly. So with your project, we're just doing the 2 sections of roof that you were looking to replace. So our goal is to try to get an ROI on that roof as soon as possible. So when you add up all the panels, it's a 650 kilowatt system, and we're guaranteeing the production 765,000 kilowatt hours per year. We guarantee that for 30 years. And right now, since we're only doing part of the building, we're only able to get part of the bill covered. So with that amount of area, we're able to offset 52% of your energy usage. So the roof cost, we included both 316,000. And so you do that 40% applies to the good portion of that roof cost. And then the solar 1.3, and then total project cost. So if we actually use the power company funding, it would be that was 1.8, but there's 1.4 worth of incentives. So the incentives cover all but 412,000, and then you save 61,000 per year if rates stay the same, and rates have been going up. And just so you know, we don't put holes in your brand new roof. It's a weighted ballasted system weighing anywhere between 8 to 4 pounds per square foot. And so we use a piece of slip sheet, the same roofing material that you are having your roof done with, then a rubber pad, then all the equipment. So there's no penetrations in your brand new roof. With the cash flow, how does that work? Well, if you paid cash for the project in full roof solar combo, the incentives come from different times, different places. So we unfortunately have to use a spreadsheet. So we have the savings that the solar energy will produce, 61,000 if rates stay the same. And we have the rate going up 3% a year, just because on average that's what it's been. But lately, Illinois prices have gone way up. Then you receive $71,000 that first year from the Illinois SREC program, Solar Renewable Energy Credit. And so each quarter you get a check adding up to 71,000. You get this federal tax credit in year one, and you can go back 3 years and amend a return and apply these credits and get a dollar for dollar credit back from the IRS, as well as using them in the current year that you do it. But they're also good for 22 years going forward, and they can easily be transferable between entities and people. So the bonus depreciation, so Trump did create 100% bonus depreciation for manufacturing types of upgrades, building upgrades, things like that in year one. The last time someone did that was Reagan, and he went from a 39-year depreciation to 15, and it caused a huge boom. So we'll see if how hopefully that helps get manufacturers going up and running and stuff. So that first year, all the incentives give you back, all but 401,000 of it, and then you get the savings the next year, the Illinois SREC money, and then other depreciation from the state. And so it actually, we only used for depreciation to 24% tax bracket and 9.5% for the state. So that's where these numbers come in at. Basically, you're paid up after year three, so a 3-year ROI, and everything after that, is bonus. And I know that they mentioned you might be interested in selling the building. So far, we've seen 10 to 15% increase in the sale price if there's solar on a commercial building. Now, the funded option, what's different about that additional amount that they tack on becomes part of the project cost. So when that happens, you get larger incentives back. So the way it would work if you use the funding, you wouldn't pay anything until the project's fully completed and turned on. So maybe next year, maybe around this time. So you'd start one of a payment. They'd be right on your power bill, and it's this 264,000 divided by 12. So around 22,000 per month would be on there. And then you keep making those for the 7 years. But that first year, you get the savings, you get the SREC money. The tax credit goes way up because the dollar amount went up a little, and you get 40% on that difference. Normal financing through a bank is not part of the project cost. And also, you get to you're able to depreciate a lot of that as well. So between that and the depreciation, your first year, your positive cash flow, if you can utilize all the tax credits, 889,000, and then it goes down as you're making those payments, but you're also receiving incentives along those 7 years. So the worst it goes down is being positive in year 7, only $218,000. So this project never goes negative. So our panels are tier 1 certified by Bloomberg. Some people say their stuff is tier 1, but the equipment has to actually be tested and the company checked out. So we use a tier 1 inverter. The panels are actually assembled in Georgia. The part that's kind of hazardous to do is done in South Korea, so nothing comes from China. And then, like I mentioned, it's a 30-year production warranty. So for that whole time. And there's a monitoring system that will alert us if something goes wrong or for some reason it's not producing what it says it does. So Camcraft did a project with us, and their only mistake is that they did the roof separate. So they did the roof a year earlier and weren't able to claim a 40% tax credit on the cost of that roof. So that was their only regret, and they're happy with the project. And so we have a couple of different funding options. The power company funding is one of them. So if or cash is fine too, if that's what you decide to do. And here's a customer. He had a pretty expensive roof,
About a year
and
and a half
he
later,
gave
we
us a
could
little
say
testimonial.
never paid a dime for anything. Got over $2 million worth of solar equipment on the roof, and we're going great. Jim and his team at Revenue Task Force did a great job finding money everywhere between incentives and grants and rebates, tapping into federal money, state money. The energy companies are offering an incentive. So it was really, really a great program. Really happy with what we did here.
And thank you very much. Have a good day.